Hi guys, and welcome back to Drive to School Chat, where we discuss a subtopic in geography on our way to school. All right, so today we are going to be discussing Rostow's theory of development. Now, it's important, obviously, to define development before we go on to discuss Rostow's theory. And development is the process by which a country makes progress or improves economically, socially, and environmentally. And Rostow suggested that countries go through 5 stages of development. And the first stage that he said that the country passes through is the traditional society. And the traditional society is where the economy is a subsistence economy. So, what does that mean then? So, subsistence implies that the country or that economy there is relying on growing their own food for survival. So it's where people within that particular country or that economy are growing just enough food for themselves and their families. So they are not necessarily selling any food to or any, they are not growing anything to sell. Then he said that then there would be a second stage, and that second stage was the pre-takeoff stage. So pre-takeoff stage. And he said that during that stage, people now within the economy begin to produce food for sale, and some light manufacturing begins to take place. And then there's also some kind of there's also mechanization in the farms. And due to that improving and increasing technology, there is now some kind of manufacturing taking place, and goods can now begin to be traded. So that is the pre-takeoff stage. Then he suggested that the third stage, which the countries develop through, is the takeoff stage. And during this stage, technology continues to increase, and now factories begin to increase as well, and manufacturing begins to become the major part of that particular economy. And because manufacturing becomes a major part of the economy, there is now international trade that is likely to take place as those countries produce products that can then be sold across the world. So that there then is the takeoff stage. He suggested that the fourth stage is the drive to maturity stage. And during the drive to maturity stage, the technology continues to increase rapidly. And due to that, there's again a lot more manufacturing, and the economy continues to grow very rapidly. Now, an example of such economies would include, economies such as China and India, for example, or even Brazil, where the economies are growing fairly rapidly, and there's a lot of industrialization that is taking place. So that is the drive to maturity. Then he suggested that the fifth stage is the stage of high mass consumption. And by this time, or by this stage, people in the country are fairly affluent. Because there has been a lot of manufacturing taking place, there are goods being sold across the world, then the country now becomes a lot richer. So the affluence of people in the country, the wealth of the people in the country increases. And because of that, they now have money to spend. And they then focus a lot more on a tertiary-based economy where there's high mass consumption, where they are buying a lot of goods and services, and there's a lot of consumer spending, if you like. So Rostow's theory suggests then, a quick recap, that a country goes through 5 stages of economic growth. The first one he called the traditional society. Then the second one he called the pre-takeoff stage. Then the third one he called the takeoff stage. And then the fourth one he called the drive to maturity. And then lastly, the fourth one he called high mass consumption. Okay, thank you very much for joining me in this Drive to School chat and on this journey towards excellent exam results. If you have a topic that you'd like us to discuss on the way to school, please do let me know in the comment section below, and we will be sure to discuss it one of these fine mornings on our way to school. All the best, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.